Oh, ouch. I don't know, Jenny, what I think. I think I should censor my feet. Hi, everyone. I'm making this odd video today. It's been months that I've been trying to come up with a vlog, but I ended to just not find out how to get started on that, and yeah, it looks like I'm just very recent here on YouTube, but it's a lie, an utter lie. I've started doing videos for my channel back in 2014, so that was quite a while, yeah. And besides of the countless videos, I think I have more than 1,300 videos, and some of those videos are vlogs, but most things are gaming videos. It seems like it's been weird this year, yeah. So less frequent uploads on my ends, and then I try to plan something for longer than in the past to come up with something to show you, and trying to decide how I would do this vlog was kind of challenging for me, because I'm like, yeah, I'm just not in the mood, or people have their own things. I'm not sure if they will really care about my stuff. Okay, I'm here after all to just share the fun of games, and the enjoyment they provide us, and stuff. But I realized that I was kind of clueless about how to start like a new vlog, like a new update, like I used to. So I just thought today, yeah, I'm kind of sleepy. I'm going to bed a little earlier, despite it's being, for me right now, okay, while I'm recording this, it's Saturday, thankfully, and for me it's basically my favorite day of the week. And well, yeah, but I'm sleepy. But before going to bed, I'm actually in my bed right now. Yeah, and sorry about the camera shaking. I was trying to look for my tripod, but I think it's like I'm basically sleeping on a bunk bed again. And I say again because it's kind of a short story, yeah. It's above my head, probably somewhere, and I cannot reach it right now because I have some pillows up here, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go up this bunk bed right now because just medication, and yeah, I'm just starting to reach to that place. But maybe it will be worth the sacrifice. However, in my bed right now, it's Johnny. Johnny is grooming himself, and with all the things, I wanted to put my tripod over the bed, but like I'm moving, he's moving, and it's like my phone is gonna fall out. So it's like he's here just doing his stuff, and yeah, always enjoying my company. But yeah, and what happens is, yes, I'm back. So let's start with one side, because I don't want to sound really, how can I say, really confusing, more than I already sounded for all these 4 minutes that I've been here talking and not saying really anything, pretty much. Yeah, so first let's talk a bit about the games channel, and the channel stuff, about the games and etc., and about my life. Although I have not been fond of speaking about my private life, like the life outside of the channel, because first I just don't really have to share that much information, or at least it's not like in the past. But in the other hand, I kind of sometimes we just need to just speed things out. As long as I don't cross the limits for me, where I feel like it's over the limits, it's okay, I guess. But yes, I'm not like searching for approval or wanting like people be really close to me. I already like have my things outside of the of my channel when it comes to if I want like to talk with someone, but it's of course there's some person that I talk to, person that is very close to me for years, and that's it. I don't really have a very social life outside of the well, yeah, of the outside of the channel or something in the yeah. And anyway, let's start. I'm sorry. I'm just and since a year ago, basically a year and a month ago, something like that, I lost the house I was living in. The people wanted to sell the house, so I had to get out. I was living with my man, and we were and are still getting pretty along well, thankfully. But unfortunately, we had to take the hard decision of, let's say, we were living together, so we had to separate to our parents' house. So I'm living with my mom again. My father passed away when I was 21, so I'm just living with my mom. My sister left home. She still comes here every now and then with her kids and at times her boyfriend, but sometimes I rather not having visitors because sometimes I just want like silence and but it's okay. They are doing pretty good, thankfully. The thing is that he went back to his parents' home, my man, and we just live a few kilometers away, but we are basically most times only able to be together on Saturdays, like morning and bit of afternoon, and we watch some Netflix and chill, or go out for a walk somewhere, and that's it. But it's like always an unforgettable moment for me, to just to an unforgettable moment to forget about what's going on in the week, basically in general. And what happens is that, yes, I came back to my mom's home. Yeah, I brought more stuff than I had. I had to get rid of a lot of things. Other things I have to keep with me, of course. And well, many of the things had to come back to my old bedroom. That is where I'm at now. Yes, I painted the walls of this color years ago. Don't ask me why. But I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. And this is the ironing board. I just keep it here. And it's a tiny space. I don't like to be like in very tiny places, because I like to keep every object on its place. I'm very, very picky about that. I need to have everything organized and such, but I also love to have space. I don't have much, so sometimes when I have to do something, I have to just put other things away to reach to that something. Same thing is happening with my tripod up there, but I did like about to let's say spring cleanings recently, and I'm planning to do another one in December. So I clean the dust and the floor and such every week. Yeah, but then I put to my mind, okay, I need to go and just put things away and do another big cleaning, even though it may not be like that dusty or but some parts get more dust than others, okay? Because the clothes, if I move the clothes around and such and fold the clothes, I can see the dust coming off each of the clothes, that just washed and stuff and etc. And then I have the computer the PC and stuff. For some reason, these small places tend to get those deposits faster than like in a bigger place, kind of, yeah. So that's in with my allergies, that's not good. So if I show you like around this, it's kind of weird. So I have like my girly stuff here. Okay, it's the makeup that I just use every now and then, and it's mainly for my eyes. I don't go crazy with makeup because I don't really like to cake my face. It's just more the eyes and at times the lips, but that's about it. And then I have like bits of fake jewelry here and there, and other like accessories that I need eventually or I want to use. And then we have like this little monster here, which are basically my t-shirts. Most of them, others are like on that box, the ones that I use to be around the house, and stuff that I don't usually go all out often with, and they simply don't fit up here. This is a hanger. I just cover it with a black cloth because to prevent dust from coming to the t-shirts and stuff. I have to have the t-shirts hanging so they don't get messed up, and then I have to use the ironing board. I hate ironing, but sometimes it has to happen, yeah. And then I have like some of my agent stuff there. Yeah, the cat food is there as well. I know it's a weird place to have the cat food, but yeah. And other stuff from the cat as well, like around the floor. And then the floor is kind of old, okay, so it's kind of like stain, like tiny stains of paint and other things that just doesn't come off. So this is a very old house. Yeah, so that part there, I don't like to see all the clothes hanging, but that's actually the closet, and I usually leave most of the days I leave the closet open to that side because the doors are kind of messed up, and in the other side like there's winter clothes and pajamas and the bed clothes. I just go there from time to time, so it just stays there. But at least the clothes can in a certain way breathe. And then I have a few things under there, under the shirts and the dresses, like my pills and other things. They are just staying there. So that's my PC, okay, where magic happens. And I have like this big chair, this big armchair, because I cannot stand either office or especially gaming chairs. I have back issues, and still this is like one of the few places that I feel a little more comfortable with, but I still have to use some pills around, okay. And unfortunately this smaller desk is like the armchair doesn't fit under the desk, because by accident when I had to give away the desk for my PC that was in the other house, I gave it, okay. I won't sell it because it was kind of used and stuff. I forgot to replace the legs of that table to this table, okay, because it's like the same model almost, but this one is just shorter, and I could adjust the height of this table if I had the legs of the other table, but I forgot about it, so yeah, screw it. And then there's the door. Yeah, I don't usually keep the door closed anymore unless I'm like there gaming and so, or if it's cold from outside, but usually it's kind of open, so the room can breathe. and the cat can go out to the other parts of the house. And then there are more clothes here. It's most shirts and jackets. Okay, so it's kind of it's not messed up. Everything is on place. It just kind of weird right now. Okay, these are like a bunch of pillows. I always need extra pillows because I suffer from body pain, and especially from my back, so I need to have a bunch of pillows around. The mattress is pretty good actually, so I cannot complain about it. That's like my sleeping pajamas. Okay, so I always change clothes when I go to sleep. I never use the clothes that I go around the house, because I don't think that's hygienic. Yeah, and then Johnny is here. Yeah, he usually sleeps on the armchair. So I have already the things for him to be just warm enough when he goes to sleep. At times he wants to sleep around me, like on my legs, on the back of my legs or something here, and I cannot move then. But he's now here because I'm here. Okay, he loves my company. So that's great. And so up here it's just the things that need to be there, because I don't have like enough space, or let's say enough furniture for the things I have. And yes, I give away a ton of clothes and other things to people near me, to my men's relatives especially, and to my family as well, because I feel like I will not use those things anymore. Other things I'm very like protective of my own stuff. I'm not materialistic. It's not that. It just I want to take the best care I can for my things, because I cannot afford new stuff anymore nowadays right now. So it's like I gotta be careful with my things and make sure that I'll be using them, if not now, in the future. So yeah, so there are also things under the bed, under the bunk beds. There are especially plastic boxes, and also some bags. I have like something that I did not want to dispose are the is like a big collection of PlayStation magazines for the very first PlayStation that came out, because it's like more of a sentimental thing that I have for those, because it reminds me of my father. My father used to buy, I think it was every month. I think it was every month he will buy the PlayStation magazines, because it will bring like sometimes a few posters from games, but also CD to with a lot of demos, game demos, that I'll spend a lot of hours playing on the PlayStation, the old PlayStation. My sister still has it. I think those cards, the memory cards that for the saves, I don't think they were working properly anymore. I don't know, but I think the PlayStation still works. I hope so, because it's been so many years. And also got like I think she kept them, the games that we had. My father purchased like, and he also played games. He really liked to play, especially on the PlayStation, some PC games as well, but it will be usually some card games and stuff. He liked a lot to play on the PlayStation cars racing games, and also Tomb Raider and Tekken 3 especially. Yeah, we'll spend some hours on that game, and it's one of those special games that for me it kind of, probably you may not like Tekken 3, you may like other titles or other Tekken of the franchise, but Tekken 3 for me will always be the precious one. So yeah, I have a lot of memories, and sometimes we cannot just get rid of the past like that. I know these things will like eventually disappear someday, but for now, if I can keep those things under my bed, they will stay there, But I'm like, I realize sometimes if it's something that is already ruined and it's not worth having, then I will get rid of those, because I'm not a hoarder. Okay, this is just a small space, and it looks like I have a lot of stuff, more than I should. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna give away or throw away more things because of that. And okay, now after 20 minutes, I didn't reach where I wanted to reach because of this stuff. Okay, I'm just like putting the things here that I felt that I need to talk about. Also the channel, my channel. It's been a terrible year, not only for me but for many people. Okay, we know that things are getting worse here and there, and we hear like a lot of horrible news, and it makes us more depressed, more scared, but things are actually happening. Okay, we have just to keep our eyes open, but sometimes we just want to get away and disappear from those things for a little while. And so this channel has been around for quite a while, 11 years, more than 11 years right now. And if I could get back on time, I probably would start things differently. Maybe I could have actually a bit of more success, really, taking me a lot of time to get a certain amount of views or subscribers. But what I really get from from making games videos was already okay. I'm just nowadays, when it comes, like, I did not start this for money. After all, when I actually, only after a few years that I started my channel was when YouTube started the monetization, so that did not exist before. And I'm like, okay, I already fulfilled the requirements, the minimum requirements, and before it was harder for creators to start monetizing their videos. So I already, I had over a few thousands of views and some thousands of subscribers. So I'm like ready to go. Now they lowered down the requirements. But I think that's fair. That's fair for some people, okay. And it's not wrong to earn money from a hobby that you actually enjoy doing, because I started this for the passion of games and wanted to share any kind of thing that I just find in games with you that was possible. I stick with the specific games, although I like a lot games from very, very distinct genres. So I'm one of those persons that may like House Flipper and The Sims, but I also enjoy Counter-Strike. I played some old Battlefield, I think it was 3, for a little while. I played other fast-paced FPS games. I've played a lot of survival games, and you can find some of them on my channel. And puzzle games, those games that are point and click, I kind of like a few of them. And I got stuck with specific games throughout the time on my channel. I got stuck for a little while, quite a while, with Daisy. It was madness back then. It will take me a long time to be able to finish or to make a video on that game, but I've made a ton of videos there, and some are pretty, how do you say, cringy. I don't like that word, but yeah. Others are kind of funny or something like that. I would make any kind of content around the game. and then I step onto two other games because I got burned out from the game, and it's actually something that happens commonly. I also tried Rust. I wasn't really interested much at first, but then I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. But I got stuck with like the cartoonish version of that, which was Hurt World, and I've earned a lot of subscribers, and actually I was a little popular on the game during the first times of the game, because there weren't a lot of people playing back then, and I'm like, when they see Jester entering on the server, they will like, oh, I like your videos, thanks for helping me with this, because I'll do a lot of tutorials, I'll do compilations of running over other players and stuff, I'll do crazy bases, and although I'll do things together with other players, like I managed to have like a few friends there sometimes, like I'll go with them for raids and stuff. My real deal was to play alone, and I would spend a lot of time accumulating resources and making these big crazy bases that had a lot of wall layers. And I remember there was like a small group of people, small clan, I knew them, and they really tried to raid my base, and what happens is that they got stuck there, like a few vehicles, a few bikes and the cars, because they could not get out of there with the vehicles anymore, because the way I did the base kind of trapped them. And also I did a labyrinth in my base, and they spent a lot of C4 bombs to just go through the base, and they did not reach for a few meters where the source was, okay, where my loot was at on the boxes, okay. So I left my ass off back then. It was really funny. I kept most of their vehicles. I'm like, they know how I build my things. And most things I will keep with me will not be the things that they really wanted, were more like building materials. Yeah, really. I had a few rare stuff on the game, but I will go more often for the building materials, because I needed them to keep building and building, and then I will build towers. People that who knew me will not really even try to raid my base, because they knew they will spend a lot of resources, you know. In the case of Rust, that was kind of, I would try to build the honeycomb bases and other sorts of bases. I will try to do what I could, but you know, even though I met a few people on the way, and sometimes I'll play with them, I even met people that were known back then, and maybe now, I don't know if you know about Shadow Frags, Audacious, and a few more people there. But then, you know, I think it was really fun to meet them there for a little while, and then I eventually went to this medieval server where you could not use advanced weapons, you know, only, but it was kind of fun in a way. In another way, the game was quite unnerving for me, right? It was very easy for other people to raid a solo player, and that game was like not really made for solo players in a certain way. You had to group with someone, because I've seen, like, I was building like a very strategic base someday, and I just know that two very low geared up players just smashed the base like that. But you know, eventually I kept playing. I played on my mother's servers too, and I got burned out. I don't think I felt like the real big passion that I felt for example, Daisy or even Hearthworld. And then later, Conan Exiles was like, I was not interested in getting that game. Someone, which I'm thankful for, gave me that game anyway. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. I put until nowadays over 5,000 hours in it, and I don't regret it. Okay, it helped me growing as a creator. I went into this special partner program with Funcom back then, and I got a lot of benefits due to just engage with games, and also like early access games, small games, which I eventually promoted for free, but I was also having fun playing them. So I did a ton of content, a lot of type of content in Connexels videos. Sometimes I still get comments on my old videos. Things eventually changed, sorry. And but yes, I eventually I did a bit of everything on the game, what the game has to offer. I tried PvP for a bit, but I feel like that game was not really well designed for PvP. I have to admit that it's much more for PvE. And yes, I had a lot of fun exploring, killing enemies, gathering special stuff. But my big passion on games, on survival crafting games, is really to build a dream place, a dream house, a dream base, and then collect what I can collect, and tame NPCs and decorate. Okay, I think this passion also comes from when I used to be kind of addicted in my my early gaming days. Kind of I was really into the Sims 2. For me, it's the best of the franchise, and I don't know what's happening now with EA and the Sims 4. I don't really care about the Sims 4 and stuff. I I don't support, like, I don't encourage you to pirate games, okay? But to support the development teams of the games, because of all the work. But in the case of The Sims 2, they had already a lot of support from people, because there's a lot of people playing the game, the franchise. But at this point, I think the Sims franchise is the only thing I would encourage you to just get the cracked versions, because okay. I mean, I'm kinda not, maybe I should be censored because of this, but I think it doesn't make sense for someone to spend a ton of money, because the base game, it is what it is, the kind of bland. So you wanted to get more expansions and stuff packs, you will end to spend at least 500 euros on the whole game, let's say. And for me, that's not right. Okay, I come from a time that DLCs did not exist. I mean, I understand that some development teams needed to get more money to keep taking care of the game that they did, okay? But selling parts of the content at bits, sometimes it feels a little like predatory in a certain way, but in another way, if it's something that you can, it's just cosmetics and stuff. I mean, for smaller teams, and they are not earning enough with selling the base game, then why not a DLC? Like, I view things as they kinda are in a certain way. I don't think it's fair in a certain way if you cannot afford to just spend money on games. In another way, it's another form for you to support not only the maintenance of the game, but also to get something extra, something new to do in the game, besides of probably the free content updates. Okay, but I feel like some companies went too far on that. For example, Conan Exiles, I feel like they should have kept some of the DLCs. I'm not sure how much they were making like for the past couple years with the DLCs, but if they kept releasing, a lot of people like collectors like me in the game, from items collectors, I will not really miss most of the Twitch drops, even just to have those things, because I was an enthusiast, especially on decorating the bases and stuff, and I like the cosmetic part because it's really pretty, the work they do. um but it was what people wanted, more like a new map. I know that it's not easy to make, but they came up with Sipta. You have modern maps on the Steam Workshop, for example, and I think it will be like a good idea to invest in another map, even if it will stay away from the actual game lore a little bit. And then more DLCs, more just cosmetic. It was not like pay to win or anything. I like the cosmetic of some of the DLCs, which were really cool. And decided, I think it was because the Funcom was purchased by Tencent, the Chinese really big enterprise that eventually keeps buying companies and stuff. Eventually they also were influenced by someone to add microtransactions in the game. I was not very fond of that. Actually, I think I started to get a little lost on the game content news after Age of War. Age of Sorcery, I followed all the updated stuff. I got like 4 or 5 videos about that big update that came up with new mechanics to the game, new items and stuff. I think it was refreshing to have new content in the game. But after that, the Age of War, and then they brought the Battle Pass and the Bazaar, and I lost track of how many changes they did to the things that already existed in the game and that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I think I should just stick. I will stop sticking with most tutorials that I will do. I just stick with the base showcase videos. For me, I think it's my thing. So, or random stuff, but I think I will leave that for other excellent content creators that are out there. So yes, and then eventually nowadays I'm taking kind of a break of the game, but I go back there at times, so I can experiment with a few items for something that I can do in the future in the game. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna like to go for regular gameplay or just another base showcase. It takes me hours to that stuff, but at least I did something, okay. But I kinda got burned out a bit, so I feel like taking breaks from things that you just played for a long time, it's kinda healthy for you. And nowadays and eventually I went back to Stardew Valley, to my farm that like on the most recent save I've had. I did a lot of stuff I enjoy, and I have like a somewhat dream farm, and then I showcase that on the video too, and I enjoyed doing it. After that, I took a break from the game because I spent a few hours on that, so kind of to avoid the complete burnout. Eventually I will come back to that, probably because I really like the game. And then I got stuck with something quite different, okay. So I purchased GTA 5 some years ago on a huge sale. I think it was in some years December. I got it like for 14 or 16 euros, I don't know. But I'm like, I'm gonna grab that. And I experimented with a few different videos back then. I played for a little bit, like 40, 50 hours, and then I stopped. I took some years break. I came back this year and I can tell you that I did over 800 hours, yeah, alone this year. I know it's crazy, but it was like divided through the several months, you know, from months ago to nowadays. And my target here is I had a lot of fun on the game. Uh, but I kind of grind on to make money to okay to get what I want, and that becomes extremely repetitive. If you've played the game, you know that I'm playing the GTA Online. Okay, right now I was kind of GTA Online. Okay, and then I've heard about the griefers and stuff, but then find out that thankfully there are private sessions. Sometimes I go to public sessions just to play around a bit, but I'm usually stick with the private sessions or friends only sessions. Um, and yeah, I had my man playing on the same sessions as me sometimes. Um, is now playing other games again, but I got stuck with it, and I'm having like the big target for me is to own um, some of the cool cars that I've been finding, and sometimes I don't lose opportunities to just grab others that were retired from the game, but they appear on the Los Santos car meet and other stuff, and I'm really enjoying some. And then there are those cars that really look like the real ones in life, like but on a different brand. I really like the cars like the grotty cheetah in the game, and then other cars too, especially the ones that look like Lamborghinis and stuff. No, I'm still not materialistic, but on the game is different. Okay, also collect a few bikes. So what I've been doing is to grind for some more money so I can spend. I invest on the cars, especially on the ones that I already own. I just change them. I tune them up, and then I put them like on the garages that I have available. I also have a few properties there. Maybe I'll have to purchase more properties if I keep collecting more cars, but that's gonna take a while, okay? Because when I spend some, I spend a few days recovering the money, and I can do a few easy millions each week. It depends on the weeks, depends how long I've been there, but yeah, it's kind of the grinding part. It's just repetitive for me because I do the specific things. I just sell stuff from the businesses that I have, and I don't go very further from that part of the time. So yeah, and I try to participate on a few events to complete the challenges and stuff, but it really depends, okay, of my moods. So eventually, I also been hopping back on a house flipper one. I know that they are going to release an let's say not an enhanced version, like a remastered version, but people who already own House Flipper since kind of day one, they had to repurchase the that remastered version. It comes up with all the DLCs, and I don't think I can afford that right now. And the House Flipper too, how like to play it, I cannot afford it right now. I just don't spend money in games right now because financial stuff. And the thing is, I do have to be careful with the new games because since my previous graphics card was burnt like before I left the other house like over a year ago. I had to put my old graphics card on my PC, so it's kind of hard to run a few things. But I still can play the games that I own, like most of them, which is cool. Some will get a little laggy, but in general, it's still kind of acceptable. I don't know until when, though. Okay, because that card has some years and things get obsolete, unfortunately, like really fast. And yes, I'm trying to come up with more content But there's something like kind of putting me like procrastinating. It's not that I'm lazy or anything. It's like I'm not sure what my audience, okay, especially people being around here for a while, or even new people that just found out my channel, what they will think if I come up like with videos just doing some gameplay, some tasks, but maybe not commenting on a video, but then I will comment on another, or don't say much, or talk a lot, etc. Or like independently of the type of game and the content on that game that I will bring, because you have to understand something. I like to have a lot of different things about different games on my channel. Okay, sometimes I stick with a certain theme, or for example, I go for a dungeon to kill a boss, or I just go crazy with my buildings, and I do a building showcase, a decoration part of my base somewhere, or I just do like a compilation of fails, or funny things. So I'm very, how can I say, I, I, I don't remember the word, but my channel is a mixed bag of different content, from tutorials to other things. And I used to have like a notebook where I plan all the stuff. Now I have like planned projects on my PC. Some things I feel like they could be obsolete by now, because games change and my plans also have to change. So I'm like, I used to be very, very tough with myself, very demanding, and right now, let's see how it goes. Depending on my mood, I will just put this up. But I don't want to show like low effort videos. So I hope you understand when I don't comment on videos. Others I will comment, but that's the way I am right now, and I apologize. So I've been releasing only a video from time to time right now. That can change. Sometimes I can come up with a lot of stuff in a way that then I will take a break, and to think it's my life, okay? It's getting on the way, and I don't mean like the real lack of time. Sometimes I have time to do, other times I don't, and when I have time, sometimes I don't feel with energy, enough energy, or mental energy to do something, like to focus on something. Sometimes I'm on the games, I'm on GTA, I'm driving or flying, and I will crash a lot because I simply just, my brain shuts down. I fall asleep for a little bit, and then I wake up. I'm like, where's my car, dude? Like, what the hell just happened? I'm like lost. And other things, I'm trying to do something and they didn't go well, so I have to record the things again, and see if it gets better, because I worry about what I deliver to you. Okay, so it may not look like, but you as a viewer of my channel, it's kinda, you are still important, because I don't want to share for a wall. I want to share for real people, things. You know, I kinda just not going for the popularity anymore. The YouTube algorithm has been tricking me and not helping me most of the time at all. And I know I could just improve or change something here and there, or play like a famous game right now, popular game. Trust me, throughout the years, I tried many things, and they didn't really work when it comes to having like good stats on the analytics. Some did. Some people just go try to find out something specific, on a game, especially tutorials. Okay, my most watched video is a forager. I don't know if you know that game. Unfortunately, the development stopped years ago, but it's still a fully playable game. And I did like a very short video about how to do some puzzle. Okay, sometimes it's kind of tricky. Maybe the wiki has an explanation. Yeah, the game wiki has explanations to how to solve something. I decided to make a video out of something that I've did before, and surprisingly I helped thousands of people that watched it. Okay, not exaggerating, it's my one of my most watched videos, and I don't even talk on that video. It's like a 2 minute and something video. Other popular video that I have is just me on Cunning Exals. Way before they released a lot of updates, especially with the avatars, I just released videos, me of my characters summoning avatars and destroying bases that I built as an example to see what they will destruct. And that video got crazy views throughout the time. Okay, it's not instantly, but throughout the time and stuff like that. I'm not expecting to get so many views in the least expected videos, and I'm like surprised. But there's like lots of ups and then, well, some ups and then lots of downs when it comes to the viewers that find my videos, because I'm in views. Many of my videos, they don't reach like 300 views. They reach less than 100 sometimes, other times a little more, or they don't reach 1,000. I mean, at least someone still watched. But I realize, I'm like, I spent hours doing this. I mean, maybe it could be better, because I'm like, what I do, I feel like it's not good enough or kind of sucks. It doesn't mean, even if before I watch the results, it's like I kind of have the imposter syndrome, kind of like that, because I feel like what I do, it just could be best done, and I think kind of sucks. But I feel like I gave all my body strength and my mental strength to something, and why do I think it more could be done? You know, and I'm pretty disappointed with myself to not bring more videos more often like I used to. Maybe I'll come up with something sometime, and I will. I'm just not gonna specify much. Maybe just something like before and after I will like renovate a house somewhere in the game. I will showcase all my vehicles on that I have on GTA, for example. I could play something else. Like, I'm gonna be pretty random about it, and I do apologize if you're looking for something specific. I do have a huge library on my channel. It's kind of many of the videos have a few years or some months, but sometimes they can be still useful, because sometimes I still get great comments on videos that actually are gameplays or tutorials for something guides, that still after these years you help me out to do something. And that happened with an Empyrean video, that I help people to set up motion sensors. Apparently some of the things did not get changed by the developers, which was great, because that means that my videos are not completely outdated. There were some cases that on Conan Exiles I had to do new tutorials for a few things. Other things I'm keeping the old tutorials. It seems that someone else already did a new tutorial. Yeah, I could still do. Doesn't matter if someone else is doing the same as me. But I got kind of stacked with other works that I had in mind to do, or with life, and that didn't end to happen. Okay, and having the will to do something is very important to keep a consistent schedule. I've never been consistent. Well, I try to be consistent, okay, on my channel because it's very important for success. But sometimes it was pretty hard. Nowadays, the reason why I want to tell you because I think you deserve to know, okay? I didn't forget about you people. It just when you are struggling in life, like in actual life, not the gaming world, the online stuff, because we can be what we want to be online. I've been always like myself most of the time, I guess. There, but still, it's kind of a different world. Okay, I came from years that I grew up without internet. Okay, I grew up with games. Yes, I didn't really have access to the internet, and then I started to have limited access, or I will have to go to a library, or then I had like this very small amount of internet when it comes to limits on my PC or my home. But that was like years later. Okay, I'll eventually get a bunch of games to play, and most of the games were pirated. I had originals though, thankfully. I think I still keep them, the CDs, but others like I knew a person that could just but when I after my adult years, okay, when I reached the adult time, and it still took a while, but I decided that if I managed to get something, to buy something from Steam, I will do it, okay? And I did it, okay? And many of the games that I have on Steam, or I got them on giveaways, or people gave me, and that's like a big advantage of being a content creator is that sometimes you get stuff for free. Doesn't matter if you're a gaming content creator or like the other platforms influencer or something like that. I don't like to call that name to people influencer. Yeah, you're gonna influence someone to do something, but I feel like they just content creators. Okay, they are actually real people behind the camera and stuff. Some people just try to portray their life to others, but they live something different. And I will never be able to tell you how much I'm struggling right now. I'm struggling with mental and overall health problems, physical problems, financial issues, like serious issues, sometimes families ups and downs, and it's all been a struggle. Okay, I'm still like in a short time, in a small part-time job which I can only go a few days per week. I cannot go more because it's a very heavy job when it comes to especially physical job. Okay, and I have to perform things, tasks in just a few hours, and I'm basically exposed to chemicals and to bacteria and other stuff. Okay, and also the some of the other big issues is that it's pretty far from where I live. It was already far before I was 2 years on the suburbs. I went back to the rural area. Okay, and so this is further away from like that place. Imagine I have to get out of bed at 4 a.m. To enter at 9 a.m. somewhere, and then the time that I spend traveling between home and work, and then the other way around, it's basically the time that I have on work at work. Okay, because again it's a part-time job, but still, and it's also very exhausting, the long trips I have to go and take multiple public transportation. Okay, because I don't have a driver's license, and the transportation here where I am, it's pretty complicated. And for example, the trains get flooded with people at the rush hours. Okay, like a lot of people, and I've noticed that many of that people just came to my country to work. Okay, because no one that doesn't work, most no one will just catch the train like at 6 7 a.m. Okay, it's working people, but there are too many people nowadays, and the country did not already have enough conditions for the people living here and born here, and with this big affluence of immigration that has been happening. Okay, it started to have more control now, but it's kind of what's done is done, it's more complicated, not only in transportation, because the transportation service is kind of suck here. Okay, it's they're unpredictable, and things can just break, or they delayed, or workers go on the strike because they don't have like big conditions of working too, etc. Okay, it's also on health. Okay, it's more and more complicated to get to mark an appointment with a doctor, or mark an exam that you have to do. You have to find out where you can get like that exam, let's say like an x-ray, or other type of exam. I'm actually trying to mark an appointment for the some exams, and I didn't make it so far in the places nearby. I'm trying to look for another place so I can get checked. Okay, I have to do a few, I forgot the name in English, but one is a more specific exam to my back. Okay, I did an x-ray a while ago, and it took use of something. I knew that I had something, especially in my lower back. My upper back, I have other stuff like advanced scoliosis, arthrosis, and other stuff. Okay, and then on my lower back, I have something that it's a complex name, uh, but my vertebrae, or what you call them, and the disc is kind of they are like out of place. They just slept over each other, and they are making pressure not only on the spinal discs, or whatever you call, but also on my nerves. And it's most likely that it's attacking, it's making pressure, especially on my sciatic nerve. And I'm having other problems too. So I'm having sometimes my right leg, it's kind of, I feel ill from my leg. Sometimes it just doesn't want to move properly, or it's just in pain, or it can be like muscle pain, bones, that includes my back too, my arms. And then I was supposed to go on a surgery this year, but it was postponed for next year, to my varicose veins, because they are pretty advanced for my age. That's a genetic thing, but also I spend sometimes too much time standing up, and that apparently can be bad too. And much I also have fibromyalgia and other chronic problems that I'm not gonna like list them all. I'm not a hypochondriac either. Okay, what I have is what I was diagnosed with. Sometimes I'm not even sure if it's exactly that thing, but I feel like a lot of symptoms from like different stuff. So the doctors ended to be clueless about what to do with me after prescribing me a bunch of medication that barely work. Okay, just I keep moving, I keep working out less times per week than before because of my exhaustion and pain. But yes, I found out that I have constant inflammation also on my breathing things. So I'm taking care of that medication for the rest of life. Medication is just something like I have to put on my nose and stuff because I have some trouble, and that affects my throat too and the vocal cords. Uh, Everything is linked. So yeah, and mentally, I'm just all over the place or nowhere really. I have been like in a very dark place, and sometimes I feel like I just want to disappear. Yeah, and I sometimes I'm either motivated or no motivated at all for things. I wish, sometimes I think I hate my life, but it's not that. I just hate the way it it went to. Okay, the place it went to, the path that my life has taken wasn't the best, okay? And I kind of have fault on that, and I kind of don't have fault on that. Some things I just cannot control out of my hands, especially when I have little resources to advance in life. Other things I try to get better, but it's been a battle for me. I'm just battling with myself, yeah. And I, besides of things, I have symptoms of depression since many years ago, and yeah, I was depressed for like since I was 13. um Being bullied at several bullied at school, of course, it just made damage for the rest of my life. Honestly, I cannot live off my past. I have to think about the future, and the well-being of myself and whoever is surrounding me. The thing is that that affects you. I just, yeah, it is what it is. And then um I yeah, why don't I go to the psychiatrist? I did go. I was getting treatment for a couple years until this year, months ago, until there. Um, I was going to a psychiatrist. Um, they must want to just prescribe stuff that some stuff I cannot take. I'm highly intolerant, or I'm resistant to the medications that don't do anything to me, or they do the complete opposite. So I'm kind of forbidden now taking that. But I take most one thing, okay, as an emergency, SOS, or when I spend some days with a lot of sleep deprivation. Okay, I've been sleep deprived for like around 3 years now. It's been pretty tough, but there are days, and then there are some days that if I have a bad dream, I will wake up. I will still feel like I'm still inside of the dream. I'm drenched in fear, and that's really bad. And at times, I really feel the need of taking certain medication. But it's something that you can get easily addicted to, and when the effects wear off, it sucks. But it's prescribed medication, okay, but it's sold on the black markets too, okay. Is something, but it's something that kind of helps me, um because it kind of starts to make me a little like less active to things like, because I have you know stress kind of slowly kills us, okay. It affects us mentally, of course, and physically. And when your mind is not good, your body is bad too. I suffer from a lot of chronic pain, and many things are derived from the nerves, okay, that you have a lot of nerves from like here and there, yeah. And that takes a huge ton of breaks on my back, really, in a way of saying. And so that's bad. And when I make extra effort that I shouldn't do on the job, that's gonna be worse too. And one thing that you can be sure about is that I do have extreme anxiety. I don't look like sometimes, but I do have. I was diagnosed with a level of um, chronic GAD, that is the generalized anxiety disorder, like over the limits. It's a lot, and doctors did not give me like any big hopes about it, except to try to treat myself through a few things. And I state that if my life doesn't get better anytime, this doesn't get better. But I have good days and bad days, okay? But what I need, so I managed to study myself through the years, do a lot of research as well, but also study my body, how it reacts and behaves to things. And one thing that some things that I help, I try to just myself, or to I need a lot of stimulation, or a lot of brain stimulation, okay? Because I feel like at my age I should not be having things that I feel. I am not hypochondriac here, okay? I'm not giving myself more illnesses, okay? It's not that, okay? My blood samples are actually pretty good, my blood results, which is great, okay? At least that I have. I was having like kind of lack of vitamin D. I took supplements for a few months, and then my vitamin D levels are like, they should be here normally. They are up here, which is really good, okay? And it's time to take again. So I'm gonna start taking it again sometime. The thing is, I need things to stimulate my brain, or to just shut off from the environment on me. So for example, when I go out home, I do need to wear my headphones, my earphones, okay, whenever I travel and stuff, or I will go crazy with the noise around me, from people talking, from the transportation, from here and there. It just makes me drained, okay? Any kind of unpleasant noise for me makes me mentally drained, okay? It can be a loud TV, it can be a baby crying or yelling, it can be dogs barking, people talking a little louder than I wanted, and other things. Like, and common things, really regular things, make me just, or go kind of mad, or exhausted especially, and I become disoriented. So or I either use ear tampons or phones playing music, but sometimes it's not really enough to cover, to muffle that sound. But I still try, okay? So I need to listen to music basically every day, to help me like stimulation. And I listen to many kinds of music, many types of music. I'm still a little picky, but I can listen to calm, relaxing music, as I can listen to really highly energetic music. And I'm talking about metal, punk, trance, other things, okay? That really, and I listen to 90s classics, okay, in many genres and stuff. And that makes me really a little more, excited, in a way that I'm kind of, yeah, it's fine. But sometimes my mind is so bad that sometimes if I stop feeling the music, I'm like, oh no, I can't believe this is happening. And I need to play games to stimulate my brain as well at times. I have other hobbies that I stop for some time, like months or years, and then I come back to them. One of the hobbies is to paint. I have a few. I have some items, some artworks that I've done. I tried to sell them on Etsy, but it's pretty hard to just stand out on Etsy, without getting spammed by bots and stuff. And I mean, I delisted my items there, so I'm just keeping things above this bunk bed on a box, okay, sealed and stuff. But I've enjoyed doing that stuff. I love painting. Okay, I really like painting, and yeah. Besides of having to have my brain stimulated with fast-paced music sometimes, okay, um, and such. And for example, when I go workouts, sometimes I go a little over almost the limits, but I think that thing then later I'll become a little more relaxed, which is okay. But that's when I can work out. I've been having more pain lately. But yes, for example, uh, playing with Johnny, with my cat, he's very, very kind cat when he doesn't want to bite me. It's just it's just a cat, when it comes to just biting or like purring out loudly when he's near me asking me for food. I mean, he is one of the most precious things that I own nowadays. And I he makes me forget about all the bad things that have been happening. Okay, I'm also very worried about my mom's health. Okay, and I feel very frustrated for still being back to the old story of being around this place and feeling in a certain way useless. Okay, the only things I can afford is just to pay a few of the bills, like that the bank will charge me every month, and I cannot pay for a certain expense that I should be fully paying. It's like a little bit. Sometimes I have to get back the money because it's hard, and then for a little bit of food or to the pharmacy and to take care of my cat Johnny. And I would like to take him to the vet again, but that's gonna be more expensive. So I try to give him the best treatment I can now. I even buy a few like things, packs that with some liquid that you use for dogs, but also for cats to properly clean their ears. Yeah, so I try to look after him like I was a nurse, like a little bit, whenever I can. And I don't like to be dependent on others. I'm dependent on my mom. My mom is kind of old and sick. um she has a lot of issues, especially with her knees, and stuff, but she still does her things here around the home. I also help her, of course, but there are specific things that she insists in doing because she needs to keep walking, especially in the morning. If she's active in the morning, that's better, so she doesn't stop walking. Okay, she had to go a few times to the hospital this year, and the last time she had like a lot of pain, a lot of cramps and sickness, and I stood there with her on the hospital for 19 hours straight. Yeah, 19 hours. We didn't sleep that day. And she was very uncomfortable. They gave her like the basic stuff, the basic treatment, but it took so long. You cannot imagine the health crisis here in Portugal we've been going through. The waiting times for doing things, even for having appointments, were already too long, because there were like long waiting lists for people, because there's a lot of people. Now it got worse. Okay, there's a little crisis when it comes to lack of people, hospitals, whatever else. Okay, even pregnant women. There's a case that there, a recent case that where a pregnant woman went to the hospital. I think she had high blood pressure. Eventually, she had like a stroke or something. They sent her home because thought everything was fine. She ended to die, and they tried to save the baby, but after a while the baby died. Okay, it's a huge tragedy. I cannot imagine the pain the family, her family, and of the baby is going through. Okay, and sometimes the emergencies, it just kind of parties shut down, and it's really madness. Okay, even though part of our services, the public services here, can be free or partially free. I mean, I can tell you, I grew up poor. I'm still kind of poor, you know. I still, but I can tell you from me that I rather pay for have a proper service and an efficient and fast service, okay, to save my own life, than having to wait for so many hours. I was already admitted to the hospital a few times in the past, usually food poisoning. Okay, and I can tell you that it just, you feel like you become more sick while you are there. It's just too long, too much time waiting, and a lot of people are like suffering because of that. The excessive immigration, that we have like a crisis. They are trying to kind of solve those things kind of late. So it brought more people. I mean, I have nothing against people immigrate to other countries to have a better life, but as long as that's controlled and legal, and I don't mean like having half of people, like the half of population from a country going to a smaller country, and then they shove people together in just the big the main districts of the country. You know, it has become madness. Okay, when it comes to transportation, the transports are full. The sometimes people that live here have kids. I mean, actual Portuguese wants to put their kids on schools, but there's like no vacancies, no space for them anymore, so they have to look for somewhere else. Okay, when it comes to the health part, it's more people there. So the issue is here is that the management of these public services is already poor. Okay, doesn't have like a lot of conditions. I don't mean that they're not exceptions. Okay, sometimes I was lucky enough with that, but most times we are not lucky enough for things. Even on work, on jobs, for searching jobs is harder now. So there are places that are missing people, but it's not because there's lack of people to work. It's not. It's the lack of conditions they offer. Okay, and I talk this for myself. I'm working in a type of job that usually are people that do come from other countries take. I had to accept out of desperation, because I don't know how many curriculums, okay, how many applications I sent, okay, since a couple of years ago, and just a couple of them replied to me. This one actually called me because they were desperate to get more people working for them, because under certain conditions, okay, when you have to actually invest in your own work equipment, you don't have rights to subsidies. Okay, we have something called green receipts here, and you are like you have flexible schedules, which is fine, and then you have a few customers to provide services. The thing is that you get paid by hour, but when you work, not you are not your boss. When you are working for an enterprise that give you these conditions, okay, they are not obligated to pay you like the insurance for work accidents, okay, for the safety. They are not obligated to pay you like for money for food or for uh, or to invest on equipment. So that's like all on me. I have to pay. I'm exempt on a couple taxes because my payment is too low per year, and that I don't fulfill the requirements to pay like the huge taxes the government takes from this type of independent workers. I'm semi-independent actually, and but I have to pay to the social security. So I'm pretty much my own manager in a certain way. The thing is that when you are pretty far from the city where I have to go, I live in a rural area right now, and even when I lived in the suburbs, I still had to wake up. Like my sleep schedule got super messed up then, and I have chronic fatigue too. So it's like it doesn't match. Okay, this routine for me doesn't match with anything I have. And then I have to travel for so long and very long distances that I get exhausted to the work. I got also exhausted, and it's like this. I just want to go back home, or like I sometimes there are days if I feel on conditions I will work out, and then I go home. I work out outside. And I get my equipment, but I have to carry like the heavy bags with the equipment for the work. And since I work just some hours per week, like a few days per week, I don't even get off of a regular part-time job will pay you, okay, and I don't have any raise on this job, or how can I say, career progress. There is no career progress here, okay. And although I have some studies after high school, I went to take some more courses, okay. So enterprise management, customer service, informatics, programming and stuff. And even safety at work, okay. I did I study all of that. I kind of don't remember well a few things, but sometimes the studies don't matter because you probably won't be getting a job on that specifically. But nowadays I do have to become more selective because of my health concerns. And not only that, it's the distance, okay. Still, I sent a lot of applications to jobs, even to jobs like regular stuff. I've been in very different jobs in the past. I did a bit of many things. Sometimes I'm just not too picky. It depends of the conditions that they offer to. Okay, I have to know if it's worth it or not before accepting. But I'm trying to get a job like not so far away. Okay, I hate the main city, and it's kind of dangerous too. Yeah, no, but yeah, it's not that. It's just the fact that sometimes I just get no answers back, and when I get answers, yeah, oh, we've chosen someone else, but thank you, kind of like you, but who knows? We can keep your curriculum for future reference. That's it. And it's kind of it's hard, okay. It's just tough, all right. I know what I'm capable to do on jobs. I like to just arrive early to a job so I can get started better. And I learn things, I learn new things and stuff, and I can like be kind of a slow adapter to things. But when I start to prioritize a lot some tasks, then I will get better. And I'm a person that is actually, I'm a little perfectionist. It's good and bad, I know. But I want to have everything organized and in place. No matter what, I have to achieve that goal. So yeah. And for example, on my place here, I I try to keep things as clean as possible, okay? And and sometimes I have to change things a bit of a place and see if that's if my eyes approve that. And then there's another thing, for example, here and well, outside of home too. Sometimes people near me kind of get a little bothered with that or upset because I don't have like a completely normal behavior. I do have a few OCD symptoms, not meaning that I do actually have OCD, but I think it's more because of my anxiety. And I've turned kind of into a germaphobe person. I know I have my cat. I have my cute cat over here. Yay, yay. I don't know if I'm filming this right or not, but yeah, Johnny. It's really cute. But I try to clean him like he cleans himself and stuff. But I try to keep like the environment kind of clean. And then when I feel like there's something sticky on the kitchen, for example, or if someone else touches on certain places that I'll do touch from time to time, I will just disinfect those areas. I try to clean stuff that I fear that it can become contamined when I'm outside, and I actually wash my hands a lot. Okay, I often have eczema on my hands, and when it gets colder it gets worse. Okay, so I put ointments, but still it's kind of sometimes just not enough. And for example, after certain tasks I do have this rule of washing my hands at least 3 times. 3 times, and I wash it all until part of my arms to make sure I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm comfortable to touch, like for example, on food or things here in my bedroom and stuff. There are things that sometimes we fail. Sometimes there's like a bit of dust or like a cobweb somewhere we didn't notice, and then I'm like, oh, that's place or that surface where we don't use much, but we put things there, let me clean. When I reach with groceries, I make sure to disinfect the packages with alcohol and stuff because I feel safer like that. Okay. And when I'm outside home, like I bring my backpack with me and the clothes, of course, that I wear. If I have to travel by public transportation, I feel like everything is just not well clean or dirty, or just people touch on everything. I try to not touch on anything with my bare hands. Call me what you want, but I always carry with me disinfectant, gel and wipes. Okay, and sometimes gloves. It is what it is. And when I go to work, so yes, I'm like kind of exposed to bacteria and chemicals, so I'm like, oh no, I'm afraid of getting sick. But I try my best to just not touch with things on my bare hands as much as possible. If I have to, I will still like wash my hands like 4 times or whatever I need. Okay, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of afraid of contamination of things. Okay, and for example, also that in Greece, I cannot stand like touching on greasy food with my hands, my bare hands, because the grease is just, it makes me so stressed out. I have to wash my hands with soap, dishwasher soap. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. And for example, when I arrive home, but it's not like a bad thing. It's just something that creates a lot of anxiety if I cannot perform those things properly, and I feel like something is dirty. Maybe it's not that dirty, but I go there and pass with something to clean it. I'm like, okay. And for example, my cat, I know that he's an animal and stuff, and this system probably is kind of different from me, but I'm afraid that he gets ill or something because he washes himself with his saliva and passes the saliva, yes, to my lap when he's on my lap, to the things that I have here. But I make sure to wash things really frequently, okay, like as possible. And when I arrive home, or like my mom still takes care of a few cats from the colony. Now I think they are only 7, but you know, it's still an expense, but thankfully those ones are still remain alive. So they are on my yard and stuff. Some of them ask me for caressing them, and my cat Johnny too. When I arrive, they love my company, which is amazing thing. But I try to first, you know, I just leave my shoes outside, like on the yards, because they are dirty. Okay, the streets are dirty and stuff. So who knows that? And there, I wash my shoes every week. Okay, and disinfect them when I remember. But I make sure to no, don't walk with my shoes that I came from outside here at home. I have the flip flops for some reason, and I take my flip flops at the entrance of my bedroom. So just to feel a little better with that cleanliness thing. And my cat, before touching my cat, when I'm outside home, or after cleaning something here at home, I make sure I wash my hands before touching him. When I touch him, if I have to touch on like hygienic stuff like cotton buds or my eye drops, or for example, I go to the bathroom, or if I go to the kitchen to touch on food, I make sure to not forget to wash my hands. There are like a few flaws about it, but yes. And you know, other than this, I think I kind of get used to this, but it still kind of bothers me, and I'm asking myself, why am I this way? I know, yeah, I put my hand on my face right now. Sometimes I get distracted anyway, but like, it's good to be clean and to make sure things are like clean enough to be around your home, because you can get sick easy, even though like my immune system is not like horrible or anything. It's just, I wish I did not have so much focus on this. And but it's good to be clean in a certain way. Of course, we all make mistakes sometimes, and but I'm like, I wish I was not so anxious about this and nervous, and then I end to upset people around me when I see them like maybe doing like kind of normal things or other things like they also make mistakes, and I'm like, Mom, why are you using your hands to touch on the greasy food? For example, the chicken is easier for her to just grab with her hands, and but then she cleans the hands, and I'm like, it's better for you to wash before touching on other things. But it's like, I don't know why I'm like that. I'm don't always bother people with that, you know. But for me, I'm like, they see me cleaning things. Okay, they see me cleaning the objects that I bring on my bag when I arrive home, or like washing all my clothing pieces as well as the bags. I put things on the washing machine. uh there are things that people never wash, okay, at home, like when it comes to textiles or wash, like from time to time. I think they should not forget about washing certain things that are very important, especially if you have allergies and stuff, and animals around the house, or you just came from a place where you could just get sick, and people are too close to you on the train. They touch your belongings sometimes, what you're wearing. Sometimes people push you and stuff. I'm like, hell no. Like, I can't wait to arrive home and take off these clothes, or my backpack, and just separate everything. I make sure my earphones and my phone itself is properly disinfected. I cannot wash it under water with soap. So disinfecting is better than nothing. Sometimes I cannot reach water, so I have to disinfect my hands, but I'm like, I cannot wait to wash them. I think washing is the most important thing, but disinfectant also plays a big role, yeah. But it doesn't mean clearly that I'm not gonna get sick anytime or something. I'm just like extra careful, okay? I think that's been saving me from like having some sort of poisoning. um Sorry about this, I feel disgrace. But in other hand, I just don't feel like I want to really. I kind of try to stay away from people, like I don't try to direct message almost anyone really nowadays on the web. And um I feel like I just want to like keep making game vids or something. And I think YouTube is gonna screw people up, that people that have supposedly game content that is kind of sensitive for them, like that is for not kids to watch eventually, but they're still not fully protecting kids. Okay, they have a kids section, a YouTube kids section, and they don't want them to be exposed to the graphic contents of video games that probably people with more age play. The thing is, sometimes the parents buy them those games to play, okay? Other times, it just the parents allow them to touch on phones, to have tablets or laptops, whatever, and they will access any kind of content on YouTube, like, and I mean any, okay? And you know that you can probably go over that 13-year age thing that they have, or like you cannot assist to adult content, like with the 18 plus on YouTube. And I mean maybe serious subjects that people talk about, like discrimination, self-harm, and other stuff that's like age restricted. Okay, so if you are 12, 13 years old, you won't be able to access to that content if you are logged in and have that age exactly. Okay. um, the thing is, many kids are not enough monitored by the parents to not watch that kind of stuff, or even if they don't want them to play like certain violent video games, because kids are like easily influenced by what they see or what they watch on the TV. So that supposedly is dangerous for them. The thing is, I don't know, everyone is different, but in my case, I play games with blood and gore since I was like my early teens, if not less. Okay, I play games like Postal 2, Blood, Doom, um, other sorts of things. Okay, and I play many kinds of other games like the Carmageddon too. Yeah, and that was actually pretty fun. I did not care about the bloods in there. Of course, we should not be desensitized about gore and violence and stuff. Um, but in games, for me, it's kind of different because I know that they are just pixels. I'm not gonna like perform something that I perform in a game. Imagine I play GTA. I'm not gonna like mess up with real people in real life, you know, like or be a criminal, like sell drugs or all other crap. I'm not okay. I'm not don't even think about it. Um, now, okay, the the main reason why some kids just grow up to be disturbed people and become violent. Okay, I'm not defending violence on entertainment and all other subjects like sexual themes and stuff. Okay, I know that it's not even moral. But I'm so used to video games that I'm like kind of, for me it's kind of, I won't say funny to watch. It's part of the game. Some things can just be like out of the games, but I'm like, for me, it's whatever. I come from other generation than most, uh, than young people right now. Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but uh, when you go through a certain education, and I don't mean only when you are slowly growing up, you know, you have the basic education and what's good and what's not good. I mean, also in moral terms, and to be respectful for others and not go around with bad companies, like friends that are not actually friends, and you know the environment that you go uh, at home. I didn't grow in the best environment ever. Okay, did not, was not that privileged, but it was not really like what really made me become what I am today. Okay, although you know I behave normally outside and stuff, I'm not like extremely violent or anything from the content that I watch. I don't encourage people to watch things that they feel like it's wrong, of course. Um, but I was more affected by my ex. How can I say, ex? The people that you study with on school. Okay, my classmates, ex classmates, some of them just, but they kind of ruined me. Uh, but again, on that time, I already was listening to a certain type of music, will play certain types of games, but I did not become uh, a mass killer or anything. I think you know, I was in the deep. It was affecting severely my health. I was having like weird behaviors with myself, like I was having headaches, and sometimes I didn't want to eat, and then later I will eat more than I should or something. It's like kind of something, but I try not to harm others or like go for a crazy life just because of the content of entertainment that I watch or play on video games, for example. Uh, but yes, violence is never good. It's not good in movies and etc. But I feel like if a platform wants to add that restrictions to prevent kids from watching those things, then they have to do better in a certain way. Okay, I've literally just a couple of days ago, a couple nights ago, I woke up terrified with the dreams that were kind of almost real, bad dreams. And then I turn on the light, and I had a few hallucinations. Sometimes I go through some hallucinations, yeah, crazy madness, and I kind of go a little scared psycho. I check everywhere if no one is at home at this house except for my mom. I mean, someone is here, and I'm like, okay, no, it's just my brain. Um, but then I'm like, it was. I kind of got lost. I kind of maybe getting a little paranoid here, but I cannot associate these episodes with the movies that I watched throughout my life, or the video games. Sometimes I dream about a few scenes on games, or something, but mainly sometimes it's just if I watch a bit of the news. I don't like to watch news, but I have to be up to date with what's happening with the world um, right now, or like past experiences, or like my work, and it's frustrating. Uh, and sometimes it just shows up some appears images. For example, I probably will get more affected mentally with some content that I could just be exposed on the internet, even as an adult. Like something shows up that you don't want to see. Okay, you reach somewhere, like, or like I'm on the Reddit, and out by my morbid curiosity, I click on that post, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of a real scenario of a shooting or something. Like sometimes I watch the body cam police stuff on the web, on usually in the normal platforms. Okay, and out by curiosity, and I'm kind of, my brain kind of gets a bit of that, and then I may dream it's something like not really similar, or something that I talk about with someone else. I kind of my mind makes something about it, but it's like just you're doing part of what you do in the routine, for example, and then my brain, I don't know what's happening. Like I I even take stuff for something specific on me, but it's like also for people with psychosis. I don't know anymore. I'm not gonna like name that I have like more stuff than I'm really sure I have, like just anxiety and chronic pain. Chronic pain is like really it's taking so much life quality from me that I feel super limited to do certain activities without extreme suffering, and even my work. I want to get something else. Okay, it just and I'm super underpaid. That it's gonna be like it's craziness. Okay, but I most important for me just to keep my cat like fed and well treated for now, and if I can bring some food to this house, that's better. Part is just with my sister has my mom's card for whatever reason she wants, but she brings sometimes some food. Okay, so it's like we were having food, but sometimes we need like sometimes I need to wait a few months until I'm able to get like certain type of ointment or medication that is a little more expensive from the pharmacy. No, I'm like not taking things like on a daily basis. Okay, it just for few chronic things like for my breathing, and yes, something in SOS because of my crisis, and I need that to just be relaxed. Okay, and stuff. But other than that, just sometimes I need for things, and I'm always counting. I cannot even save up money. I learned how to save up money on my own since I was little, well, let's say in my early teens. Yeah, okay. So I would like put a few coins on my old Game Boy Pocket case. I have this plastic case. I have no idea where it is. I still have my Game Boy Pocket, which I was super addicted to back then. But I don't know about the case. I had some coins there. Sometimes I would just but yes, it was little bits, but I learned how to just save up. Of course, back then I could not have like big goals of anything, of investing on anything bigger. Okay, and my parents were always kind of also struggling with money, and sometimes you can just on these you have to be very lucky at times sometimes. And I cannot say that I have like a proper career or anything. I work in a few places, and then I went unemployed. I work again, and then I went to study more. And I've been like for like in this place for like around 2 years and a half. I get it, but it just I'm not having any progress. Okay, I'm always counting stuff, and then will I have enough for this and that. And I always make a list. I'm very organized on that when it comes to finances, but it's still not enough. And I used to make passive money with YouTube, and then 2 years ago or so I started to stream constantly for several months. Then Koningshaus. Okay, it was kind of fun, though. Making videos is more of my thing because I'm a bit nervous when I play live to others. Who knows if that's gonna change in the future? But the thing is that I was making more live videos than live streams than videos, and for some reason YouTube just make something kind of. I think it was because of the views or some stats. I got my income from YouTube cut in half or more. I lost a lot of income. I gained a lot more subscribers, which was amazing, and I had these regular people coming to my streams, which was really cool, and I'm thankful for that. It wasn't like the most entertaining streams ever, but I managed to make all the things I wanted on with my Koningshaus character back then. I built a big castle, and I fought monsters and stuff. So it was actually I've accomplished something really. And the thing is, after losing that a lot of revenue, I'm like, well, I must keep doing more videos than maybe streaming. And I went back to videos. Okay, I did a few more videos. My revenue kept for a little bit, and then started to go down and down over the past like a year and a half, and nowadays I have an app for the partnership that I'm into, because they don't take much money from you, just like 10% of my whole earnings. The thing is that I have to give 30% on taxes to the US, okay, to the United States, because of some law that came out years ago. I have to pay on taxes 30% of my earnings. So yeah, I don't get that much with you directly nowadays, but it could be still something. But I'm earning like a couple cents per day, literally. And sometimes, in over the past months was pretty bad when it comes to stats. I know that there are a lot of bot accounts, but many of the accounts that were following me, it's actually real people. I understand when people have to unsubscribe, okay, or they are either not interested on your channel content anymore, or for other reasons. It's fine, okay. I did that before. I had subscribed to a bunch of channels over the past years and such, and I subscribed from from ones that I feel like, oh, they stopped doing things years ago. Maybe I like a few of their videos, so I just put a like, and that will be on the playlist I have. Others are just not interested in things anymore, so I'm like, I'm gonna subscribe, or I just keep myself subscribed, to help a little bit. But over the past months and such, or I gain just a couple subscribers, or I lose some, and sometimes just a loss. But the views are what count the most for the revenue. I'm not only worried about the revenue, of course. I want this channel to keep being alive eventually, even if I'm not able to upload for a while, or if I upload something that is not for everyone's interest, and I apologize. But it was like the passive cash, like that I was doing a while ago. And I'm talking about like 16 euros or 20 euros. I'm doing less than that right now, really. It was handy. It was handy because it was passive money still, and it was help me right now until I get a better place to work on. It's really far from this house, fortunately, and it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. But I'll keep going. I'll have to just keep being strong, I guess, within the possible, and just do it. It's something, I guess, but I feel like I'm not going anywhere like this. Okay, and I'm aging, so yeah, I'm not that young as maybe some may think. Okay, and I'm showing signs of that right here, and you cannot see well, okay, because of the light, but yeah, I'm not that young anymore, so it's, for me, I feel like time is running out, and I don't know, I feel like in my gut something just could be better, but I try to get every moment I have to just distract myself a little bit from what's happening, okay, and I try to talk with the people, or with the person that I'm most close with, and play with my cat and other things. If I have to just put the few things away in my bedroom, or like around the house, like I will do, okay. So don't feel like I'm lazy, even though like I'm a little bit of a mess right now because it's nighttime. I'm not gonna like add makeup on my eyes or anything. It just I'm just a little down, okay, right now, and I didn't want to talk about all of this because I know that most of you may have issues too, that you are struggling, and I realize that more people are like in worse conditions than me, but time is running out, really, and I have to manage a way to, okay, I said to be able to survive on my own without depending on other people, because I'm really, really bad about it, and I can just cover a few of my expenses, but it's been pretty hard, and even I want to make videos, and I just sometimes, well, I can try, yeah, I've been trying to do something there on the PC, and at times, even when I'm playing or browsing the web for something, I fall asleep for a few seconds, and I end to end not have energy to focus myself, and I'm like, okay, this can be from like sleeping less hours than I should sleep, and other stuff. Like I just sometimes I just have to stop what I'm doing at the moment and do something else, go take a break, and it's, and when I cannot take a break, even for like when I go outside and do things, I just cannot take a break, and that's kind of slowly putting me down. Stress is also like a silent, a slow killer, but and then some people come up with everything will get better, okay, don't worry. Yeah, people were telling me like that years ago when things got worse. Okay, so we never know. But sometimes we cannot wait for things to happen. It's us that need to change. I just don't feel like I'm motivation for some things right now, but I just say time will tell, and I hope I can get a little bit of good news in a while. But that's it. I try to just do things to just keep myself sane when possible, but I think I'm kind of losing my sanity a little bit here. I don't know. I just wanted all with this so long time to keep you updated of the fact that I wanted to update more frequently. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm very unpredictable. Okay. So I wish you a good day or night wherever you are, and take care of yourself. Okay, I know that life has been like tough on most of us, and but a good opportunity can knock at the door the next day. I don't know, just make sure you look after what you most love, and then you don't want to lose, not that fast. Okay. I'm just I just feel kind of ill, but like some of you will say, it all will get better. Thanks for the comforting words. I'm often like portrayed as a negative person, but I'm more realistic. I'm not super positive at all. I'm just being realistic. I am not sure if things for now get better, but maybe in the late future that I can just be a little more sure. But for now, just we keep surviving, and if we can try to do something about our, at least our hobbies, then that much better. Okay, I apologize if sometimes may not bring the content that you really wish to watch. You can always watch other people here on the channel, on YouTube, I mean. But I just want to try to keep being myself, and someone will hopefully enjoy that. And thank you. I want to thank to the long-time supporters of the channel. I mean, whoever has been subscribed for so long, and also welcome to the people that just kind of new watching my stuff. I appreciate a lot. I have like a huge library of videos on my channel, because some games, even old games, are worth the play sometimes. Okay, and I'm not sure if my PC can run like very recent games. I mean the graphics card, but yeah, it is what it is. But at least I can still enjoy a few things there when I do have the chance or time, because I think it's also good to just not sit around for many hours and actually do something else for yourself or for others. Okay, so goodbye, and see you another time. I hope soon. Who knows? I just just don't want to lose this hobby, at least. Okay, because I'm apparently I'll lose almost everything I have. I don't feel like I've been a successful person, and sorry, just medication I took that I I what I was talking about. I don't know. I just um I got lost. I'm sorry. I can't believe it's been like around 2 hours, and I cannot feel my hand. My hand is like this. I cannot move my fingers. That's a problem, but I will get back to the place. Okay, bye. Johnny also says goodbye. Johnny, my friends, my little friends. Yeah. Great thing in the world, yeah. Bye bye.